You know, if the idea of a big family holiday dinner makes you think less of a cozy, happy scene and more of that chaotic movie Home for the Holidays, then you are definitely in the right place. Let's build a real practical game plan to not just get through these events, but to actually navigate them with your sanity and your sense of self fully intact.
Because that's what happens, isn't it? You walk through the door with the best intentions, but then some little comment, some old dynamic, and bam, a switch flips. All of a sudden, you don't even feel like yourself anymore. You're lashing out, or you're shutting down, or you're just frantically scanning the room for an escape route. It's this really powerful, totally overwhelming feeling.
And listen, there's a real biological reason for that feeling. What's happening here isn't some kind of character flaw. It's your brain's ancient survival wiring kicking into high gear. It sees the emotional stress of that family dinner as a legitimate threat, just like a physical one, and it floods your system with stress hormones. It's getting you ready to fight, run, or play dead. The only problem is, none of those are very helpful when your uncle is just asking you to pass the gravy.
Okay, so how do we deal with this? Well, our plan of attack starts way before you even ring the doorbell. This whole first part is about being proactive. It's about grounding yourself, so you can walk into that situation feeling centered and solid, not like you're about to be blown over. Now, this might sound a little too simple, but trust me, this is your foundation. Before you even head out, just take a few minutes for yourself. Close your eyes, picture yourself at the get-together, navigating conversations, feeling calm. And then, do a quick check-in with your body. Are your shoulders up by your ears? Are you breathing all shallow? Just consciously let them drop. Breathe deeper. You're basically setting your own internal thermostat to calm before you walk into the storm.
Here's a seriously powerful tool for when you start to feel yourself getting pulled into the chaos. It's the 5-4-3-2-1 method. You can do this in your car before you go in, or you can just excuse yourself to the bathroom for a minute. You just pause, and you name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you smell, and so on. It's an amazing little trick that literally yanks your brain out of an anxiety spiral and plants it right back into the present moment.
And here are a few more quick action tools for your pocket. I mean, literally, in the case of a worry stone. These are small, discrete things you could do right in the moment. That smell the pizza breathing sounds silly, but it works. You take a big sniff in like you're smelling a fresh pizza, then a long, slow breath out like you're cooling it off. Even just going to the sink and plunging your hands into icy cold water can create a little sensory shock that resets your entire nervous system in just a few seconds.
Okay, you're prepped, you're grounded, now you're in it. You're in the thick of it. This next part is all about how to actively defend your peace while the event is happening. And the most important word here is boundaries.
Think of these as your tactical moves on the ground. You have every right to not engage on topics that you know are going to set you off. A simple, I'd really rather not get into that today. Hey, did you see the game last night? All while holding eye contact can work miracles. And if you can, bring an ally. Having a secret code word with your partner or a cousin that means I need to get out of this conversation right now is an absolute game changer.
And when we're talking about boundaries, you've got to remember this. Maybe is not your friend. Look at this comparison. A maybe just leaves the door cracked open. It invites people to push, to negotiate. But a firm, polite, no, thank you, is a complete sentence. It communicates confidence and it shuts the door on the discussion. End of story.
I know for a lot of us, saying no just feels wrong. It feels rude or unnatural. And that is exactly why you need to practice it. Seriously, stand in front of the mirror or role play with a friend. Get used to the sound of your own assertive voice. This isn't about being mean or aggressive, it's just about being clear. You're building that muscle memory so you can protect yourself.
Now, for your internal defense system, when you feel that heat rising, that urge to snap back, to get into it, just pause. Take one single deep breath. That tiny little gap you create between the trigger and your response, that's where all your power lives. And please remember, it is always okay to just physically walk away. Go to another room, step out on the porch, and try to be mindful about using too much food or alcohol to numb out. It usually just makes you feel worse later.
You did it. You made it through. But hey, the work isn't quite finished yet. Now we're moving into the final, and I'd argue the most important phase of all, the aftermath. This is all about intentional rest and recovery.
I really want you to let this metaphor sink in for a second. This isn't just being dramatic, it's validation. The emotional and physical toll of being on high alert for hours is huge. So if you get home and you feel completely wiped out, just drained and exhausted, that's not just normal, it's expected. You've basically just run an emotional marathon.
So, what does recovery actually look like? Well, it starts with being really intentional about resting. Don't just immediately dive back into your to-do list. But most of all, it's about being kind to yourself. When your brain wants to start replaying every awkward conversation on a loop, you have to gently stop it. Just remind yourself, it's over now. No beating yourself up. You did the absolute best you could in a really tough spot.
And this right here, this is the affirmation you need to hold on to. The moment you have left that physical space, their power over your nervous system is gone. You are back in your own safe place. You are in control. Say it to yourself. Comfort that part of you that feels bruised. You are safe now.
So, after all of that, what's the big picture? What's the core strategy here? Let's just boil down everything we've talked about into one simple, really powerful takeaway.
And here it is, your 3-step holiday survival kit. Prepare, defend, and recover. Before you go, you ground yourself. During the event, you defend your peace. And after, you recover with kindness. Think of it as this little cycle of self-preservation that you can pull out for any stressful social situation, really.
And finally, please do this. Actually take a moment to acknowledge what you accomplished. Getting through these kinds of dynamics takes an incredible amount of strength, of tenacity and self-awareness. You showed up, you took care of yourself, and you got through it. That is absolutely something worth celebrating.
So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Now that you're armed with these strategies, what's one thing you're going to do differently this year? What is your plan to protect your peace? Because you 100% deserve to.